Hello, my name is Joyce Anastasia. Sometimes people call me Dr. Joyce, but truly my expression is related to never being better than or worse than anyone else. I have been called to speak about the spring equinox in a more public way than I've ever done before. And it is something that I normally keep very private in sacred sessions with my clients for transformational leadership or intuitive sessions. But I've been called to speak to a broader audience because I believe we're at a time of great transformation. So I have been asked to do a special transmission channeling for this evening where we are between the winter and spring of 2024. I believe we've been called here during this time of great challenge and opportunity to ignite the divine love that is our birthright. And I've been asked by the divine to share that with you more globally at this time. It's not important where I've been or where I came from, but the divine has instructed me to share these messages with you tonight. I want to let you know also that this spring equinox marks a series of pathways that invite our luminous blueprint to manifest. The difference between past equinoxes and this one has to do with our supra-conscious awareness that we can and will make manifest. Choices that are not tossed about by fear, but that we are grounded in divine love that moves through us. This is not an invitation to spiritually bypass our responsibilities to our soul's existence, but instead to consciously and joyously move beyond powering over and control that we have witnessed in our world, and ethically and lovingly move to what we imagine our amazing world to be and our soul's evolution to be. So I am going to, and I have been asked to do a transmission, a channeling about this day and this time of our lives. And I have been also asked to integrate an amazing technology that was inspired by Nikola Tesla. And if you look behind me, there is a device that is called the Therify device. It emits plasma like our bodies emit plasma. So I am being asked by the divine to bridge between authentic spirituality, science, and what we are manifesting in our world today, so that everyone gets to be seen and heard And our choices make a gigantic difference. What we think, what we feel, what we hear, what we smell, and how we relate to one another. We are being asked to move beyond the duality of our planet. And I'm going to use this device to help to dynamically balance that plasma that we electromagnetically emit from our own bodies individually, so that it can ripple out into the world in the most beautiful ways, so that divine love can touch us in our hearts and in our cells at the deepest level of our beingness, and allow us to express beyond what we see with these two eyes, helping to integrate our intuition in the world again. So I am going to turn on this device to help to facilitate the rippling out of what is going to be transmitted from the divine source through me to all of you. And I invite any comments, any reflections, any ways you wish to ask questions, so that we together can create, as people have seen, as scientists and spiritual leaders have seen, that we are moving from the Kali Yuga into the age of Aquarius, and into a time where we become, again, as some people say, I'm going to put air quotes, HomoLuminous. What does that mean? Luminous, luminous, light, light from within to without, and how we can co-create with the divine blueprint of our trajectory as human beings, with ethical, moral beingness, with no harm on this planet. We as a humanity have been gifted with sacred geometry, and we are being asked to reflect on how magnificent our beings are, that we can heal from within to without, and that we could ripple our own healing out into the world. And one other thing, I have worked with many leaders who have felt like they were caught between a rock and a hard place, with control files of things and ways they might have chosen that are not the most beneficial for our world. But we're all human. We all make mistakes. And so I am asking from the divine that those who are in leadership throw out their fear. Do not fear, because these control files that they have on you, photos of all sorts of things, it doesn't matter. Because what matters most is, are we operating out of fear or out of divine love? And when we are operating out of divine love, we are supported from the unseen realms, no matter what it looks like in our world. And in that space and place, transformation on this planet can occur. As above, so below. I ask with deep humility the presence of divine source through this place and space And I thank you for your courage to hear and listen to whatever needs to be transmitted through me for this spring equinox. This is a Tibetan bowl pounded with the energetic of divine love. May it ripple through your beings and know that you are seen and heard, even if you don't feel like you are. Great Spirit, all that is, all the master teachers and loving guides, those from the ancestral and angelic realms, thank you for your presence on this sacred evening. Thank you for the courage for my vessel to serve in this way, that the divine messages might move through me as my personality is set aside, such that the purity of the messages might come through. May they serve for all of humanity, for the best and highest good. With the deepest protective energies, I welcome all of those who wish to share from the unseen realms the best and highest good for this spring equinox. I am witnessing sacred master teachers from many religious and spiritual traditions gathering, knowing that humanity is crying out for intervention, for there it is the repetition of warring dual expressions of right and wrong. All of those who are present, ask yourselves, how do you war with yourselves? How do you power over yourselves in ways that are harmful? You are being asked to invite divine love to replace the fear and control, either being controlled over or controlling others, or letting your emotions control yourselves. In the whole of the earth at this time, just as each of you are experiencing your cycles of the winter turning into spring, there is a request at the highest level to invite discernment and trust in all that you do, say, hear, or reflect. That just as there is divine intervention from the unseen realms, you, as star seeds from the divine source, are being asked to be responsible for your choices. Because here on this planet, it is a free will zone. This is a cycle repeated from the long lost Atlantis and Lemuria. But people see this as a fantasy. The reason why these places have been brought up most recently, and with an increase of unidentified flying objects that have been renamed to something else, that they are the same, one and the same. They have heard the cry from our humanity that our choices have brought us and led us, not each of our individual selves, but as a collective, to those who wish to separate, to those who wish to power over. So all the other beings of this planet are being encouraged to know. And those who have lost their way to this separate way of being, that they too might reflect on what is needed now for our humanity to survive and thrive and know that life is eternal. During this cycle, from Kali Yuga to the true age of Aquarius, it has just truly begun. And during this time of transformation, there is a quickening. For there are many of those who have become super conscious of what is unfolding in our world. That doesn't mean that they can hold all that is, for no human being can hold all that is. You can but tap into it and contribute to it. And what is so significant and special is that there is an opportunity in this time and space of now to grace both our personal karma and not be chained by the karma of cycles. We can choose not to recycle the past, not to have to go through the horrors of war again. We can choose a more luminous path that doesn't ask us to put our heads in the sand, but to view and be neutrally loving observers of what is happening. Why do you war with yourself or those who are near you? This is a microcosm to the macrocosm. You are being invited to take your energetic and shift it from the fear that is presented in your world to still take in that which is happening, but to do it neutrally and to ask yourself, is this reflective of generating fear or generating divine love? This will allow you to make decisions in a much healthier way on your planet. It will help to bring about the luminosity that is your birthright. You are seen and heard from the unseen realms, but in your everyday working and being and struggling and fear-based everywhere you look around you, it is hard to feel and sense being valued or seen or heard. But trust in this divine, all that is, original order of being, that you are seen and heard as a sacred being on this planet. The quickening that is occurring may be showing up in excess energy that is reflected in solar flares and other energies that might have been co-opted by those who wish to be more separate, or chemicals are being sprayed in the air and you are being distracted by fear porn. This is harmful. Be careful what you attend to, or choose to neutrally observe and not let your emotions override what is actually happening, which is you are being invited to shine your light, your gifts, your reason for being on this planet now. Because just as in Atlantis, that had so many beautiful healing technologies, co-creative ways of being, this time period is that cycle. It is a recycling of the time of Atlantis, where the planet was almost destroyed. And this was due to choices that were separating, powering over, unethical. doing harm instead of no harm, because people wished to be better than others. This is not the birthright of the star children, of those of the origins of being. You have an opportunity to contribute in seen and unseen ways, and you are being asked to look at this within yourself. How can you contribute responsibly and caringly? What are actions, thoughts, ways of being that you might transform and compost, which is what the spring equinox of this time reflects? Multiple energies are coming, and it is overwhelming, more so than any other time, a quickening that asks for transformation on the spot. Allow yourself to breathe so that you can quiet yourselves and ask yourselves, what can I focus on? Am I going to focus on fear, or am I going to focus on the gifts, the light, shining light in the shadows, revealing that which is true at the highest level, truth that can be discerned, not because people choose to push truths into dualism, but core truths of honoring the birthright of beings that honor divine love moving through, that invoke forgiveness of others, and more importantly, forgiveness of self. As many spiritual teachers speak about forgiving the unforgivable, for as you may go through a life review in a near-death experience, it is not essential to harm your physical being. In order to do this, why not now? Why wait? This is a time of great illumination. And this time of the spring equinox evokes that, asking for those to incinerate that which needs to be transformed, no longer needed, not serving, to allow space and energetics for new beginnings to emerge. This is what we, as an entire collective, are being asked to do. And there are those in the angelic and unseen realms that are here to support that. One last mention is this. There are those who speak of beings from other planets that are trying to harm. Well, yes, there are, but there are also those from your planet from planet Earth who have reverse engineered and caused great harm by utilizing the technologies in nefarious and fearful ways. There are also those from other planetary systems who have heard the cry from many human beings who are crying for intervention to help humanity not destroy itself, like had occurred in Atlantis. This is a time of great transformation, and each individual is being called to reconnect with Divine Source in a way that nothing else interferes. No fear interferes. And divine love is the fuel for manifesting miracles on this planet, for healing, for transformation, for moving this planet from the Kali Yuga into the age of Aquarius and HomoLuminous, as well as other places of being. You are beautiful beings. You have come here because you are responsible, and you know that it is time to be honoring, to step into a place of divinely loving energies, to forgive those who might have harmed you, to forgive yourself, and to ask that your karma be graced so that your energy and your ways of being can be used for co-creation, for incredibly beneficent expression on this planet and beyond. You can do this. From those who feel like they have nothing, but might have everything, to those who have everything that might feel empty. Every race, creed, color, socioeconomic position, we are all in this together. But we must do it with divine love and forgiveness, authenticity, not being afraid of being threatened by control files, no matter what level of leadership we are at. From those at the lowest rungs, assumed not to have wisdom, who have so much wisdom, to those in the highest levels of leadership on this planet, prime ministers and presidents, and those heads of the largest corporations. Please consider having the courage to step beyond fear, not worrying about control files, having trust no matter what it looks like on this planet. For it is those actions that you will look upon with your divine origin, Great Spirit, God Source, all that is. And determine within your own being, your soul's essence, what is needed going forward. Blessings to all of you. Great Spirit, Divine Source, all that is, all the Master Teachers and loving guides, all those from the angelic and ancestral realms. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for the messages for this time on our planet. May they serve individually to globally those who wish to take it in, and those messages that do not resonate with anyone, anywhere, may they be released into loving energy into the universe with no harm. Blessings to you, dear sacred souls. Thank you for your courage to hear and take in and listen. As I humbly serve the Divine Source and what wishes to move through me at this time. Many blessings. Happy spring solstice. Have a beautiful evening. I look forward to reaching out again.